Let's talk about insomnia. Hey guys, it's Amanda, also known as Amateur Aries. I do videos on schizophrenia and borderline personality disorder. I am schizoaffective with those two disorders mixed together in my lovely little brain. Today we are talking about insomnia. I would like to point out if I mispronounce any words in the future in this video, please do not bash me for it. I do have a very subtle speech impediment, as you see right there. I used to stutter very badly when I was younger, and I still have a very hard time grasping words with my tongue. So if I mispronounce the word insomnia at any time during this video or any other words, please again, do not bash me. That's rude. I just have troubles speaking. I actually did this video once before, noticed I had lipstick on my teeth, and I just felt like this is a serious video, I'm not having that in my video. Plus, I was kind of disorganized in that video. I have suffered from insomnia. It was really bad when I was a child, and it was just as bad when I was a teenager, and it was just as bad when I was a young adult. Today I'm going to tell you about my experiences, how I got through it. However, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to tell you this is what you should do. I'm just going to tell you how I've handled it. Insomnia is very easy to self-diagnose. It's just when you have a racing, you're going racing through your head at night a lot, difficulty sleeping, restless and stuff like that at night. I'm going to pull up a definition now, because honestly this girl doesn't really know a good definition for it. Learn about all 8 multiple ways to have insomnia sleepiness. So I do know there's a couple different versions of insomnia. One of them I recall was hyperactive insomnia. I believe that was what it's called, and that for a short time I think I had for a short time in my life. It's basically where you sleep often, but you have moments where you sleep like 4 hours, you wake up for 4 hours, you sleep for 4 hours, it's like a mixture of that. Insomnia is very common, more than 3 million US cases per year. Treatment can help, but this condition can't be cured. Usually self-diagnosed, lab tests, or imaging rarely required. So basically you can self-diagnose this and no one will be like, well, you have it. It's nothing as serious as schizophrenia or borderline or bipolar or severe depression or all this other diagnosable disorders that need actual extreme care like medications and psychotherapy. Treatment consists of self-care. Now I'm reading this all off of my phone. Internet-wise, I actually have not talked to my psychiatrist about it because I will tell you why in the near future of this video. So I'm just reading it off of the internet. Treatment for insomnia consists of improving sleep habits. Well, no shit. Behavior therapy, I can see it, and identifying and treating underlying causes. Sleeping pills may also be used but should be monitored for side effects. Now, I did write actually in my notes when someone first requested me to do this video. I was requested by 2 people to do this video. One was way beforehand, that's when I did the video, and then one came afterwards. But I did write notes about what I wanted to say. I'm not making this claim for sure, but I think, see, I wrote notes. I think mine was the result of early signs of schizophrenia. I have been diagnosed by one psychologist for paranoid schizophrenia, and now I'm seeing my psychiatrist, and I've been through a couple of different doctors. I am now schizoaffective, diagnosed schizoaffective, schizophrenia with borderline or bipolar, but we're leaning on borderline personality disorder. Let me read you a little bit about this first. Now, mine could be a result of early signs of schizophrenia. I have suffered from insomnia since I was a young girl. It started off from night terrors and developed in my teens as something that just kept me up for hours on end. Please note, if you have insomnia, it does not mean you have schizophrenia. I wanted to really point that out. I also have showed other signs at early ages of schizophrenia. I would go to bed at 9 and watch my animes, which like is Inuyasha, FLC, or Mutant Robin, whatever was on the time. Till 11, I would turn off the TV and I wouldn't be able to fall asleep for another 4 to 6 hours. I would lie in bed rolling around and constantly thinking. I would eventually in my later years have to take sleeping medication. I took ZQL. I used to take NyQuil because NyQuil did knock me out for a short time period and then it just stopped working. And then I took ZQL, and that helped, but then I started noticing it stopped working. It wasn't like it wasn't drowsy, but my brain was just overpowered. It would overpower it, I would say. And I still wouldn't go to bed for another 4 to 6 hours. I would lie in bed rolling around and constantly thinking. I would eventually, later in my years, have to take sleeping medication to knock myself out, and even then it would take a good while from 2 to 3 hours to fall asleep. This would cause me to be extremely exhausted and drowsy during the day to the point I couldn't focus at school. Nowadays, I think of book or fanfic ideas while I'm in bed to help me fall asleep. I also have found that once I got into a relationship with Zach, that I would fall asleep within an hour if he was in bed with me. But even now that when I sleep during the day after dropping him off at work at 7 in the morning, I would still have to take an hour or two to knock out. Now that's basically a summary of what I'm going to talk to you about. I wanted to get that out there because I actually wrote that like a month and a half ago and I forgot everything I was going to say. So yes, I had extreme night terrors when I was younger. I don't really remember most of my nightmares when I was younger. I remember one where I was drowning and I woke up completely drenched. And I don't know if it was sweat or just water or whatever, but I woke up completely drenched. I had a lot of dreams where I was drowning, and it actually came to find out many years later. My dad actually had a dream of me drowning one time when we were supposed to go to the beach the next day, and he is not the type of person who believes in that stuff. And he actually refused to let us go to the beach that day because he swore that I was going to drown that day. I've actually had a lot of dreams of me drowning, so I'm assuming that maybe I was supposed to drown at that age. My dad saved my life. But I remember having a lot of nightmares ever since I can remember. I don't know if they're the reason why I got kept up. I went to sleep. There was a couple times where I had dreams that were so repetitive that actually made me nauseated and I would wake up vomiting. I just had difficulty sleeping, and then when I became a preteen, when your hormones start kicking in, I couldn't stop thinking when I was laying in bed. My brain was just kept going, and it was nothing particular, just about everything. It would just not shut up. It just, you knew what I tell myself, shut up, and it just, nope. It's like a recorder, it just keeps going and going and going. Sometimes it would have that with music in my head. Music would just keep going and keep going. Or sounds. Certain sounds it would have just keep going and keep going and keep going. And it was just, nope. So I did suffer from extreme insomnia in my teen years mostly. I would, 4 to 6 hours later I would fall asleep. Then like 2 hours later, like, time to go to school. And I would go to school and it would actually knock out in my classes a lot. Not like sleep-wise, like when you're kind of like in a light sleep, you don't realize you dozed off, but you still hear everything going on behind you. That's kind of the sleep I would doze off to in school. And I actually had one teacher in my junior or senior year, almost my junior year. She would actually just let me sleep in class. She says, as long as you do your homework and your work afterwards, I don't care, you seem to have good grades. And I did. I had an average of 3.6 GPA average. So I still did my work. I just was sleeping during the time I was supposed to do my work. And I had bad nightmares then too, but they don't bother me that much. I know that a lot of people who suffer from insomnia that I know personally, they say the reason why they can't sleep is because of their nightmares or their brain is racing a lot before bed. I actually don't get bothered by nightmares. I am unbothered by them completely. I grew up on horror movies. My mom literally told me that you're going to watch these horror movies so you're desensitized to this type of stuff. I'm like, what, I'm going to see dead bodies all the time? Unbeknownst to her, I'm schizophrenic and I do see dead bodies everywhere. Like, intrusive thoughts was. I do see hallucinations. I do hear things. Unbeknownst to her, she didn't even know it was going to happen. And now I am pretty desensitized to it. When I see intrusive thoughts of dead bodies, I'm unaffected. I'm like, oh, shit! Oh, wait, it's not there. Like, it will spook me for that moment, but then it's like, come out of it. So I tried NyQuil for the first time because I didn't know about ZQuil, and I never told my parents that I had insomnia problems because I think the reason why I didn't tell them is because they just would blame it on the TV. I'd watch TV till 11, anime. I would just blame it on that. And I was like, well, I gotta find a way to do this myself then. Before I could pay for it for myself, I took NyQuil. We had always had NyQuil in the house because we always caught colds. This is during winter. So knocked out from that. Eventually it didn't work. It would make me drowsy, but it didn't knock me out. And then I started taking ZQuil, and it would knock me out pretty quickly. But then I started, my hallucinations would get worse on it, and it would just, again, not knock me out. It would just let me lay there. Now it gives me restless leg syndrome. I stopped taking it for about 2 years, and then I took it recently because we were having difficulty sleeping again, and this caused me to have restless leg syndrome. Many side effects of stuff. I heard, never tried, no, I tried one. I heard valerian root works. I tried it once. The pill was huge, and I just couldn't swallow it, so I never took it again. I'm pretty sure there's like oils or something for it now. And I heard for some people, some cases, that melatonin works. I heard that CBD works. Again, I've never tried these for my sleep. I've never tried insomnia. I use insomnia sorry. Where was I going with that? I never tried melatonin. I used melatonin for something else, different health related, not for me, for my pet actually. But I never tried it on myself to knock myself out. My sister uses it on my niece because she has ADHD, and she has trouble sleeping because she's always rambunctious. So my sister used to give her a little bit of melatonin to kind of calm her down at night so she could go to sleep. She says it works for her with like wonder, but I've never tried it, so I cannot say that it does not work. CBD, I did take CBD for anxiety for a short time period, and I didn't notice it helped me because at the time I was sleeping fine. What has helped me? I met up with my husband 6 years ago. I used to know him when we were little, and for a year we weren't sleeping in the same bed because he would go back to his parents' house. And I noticed whenever he slept over, I would knock out immediately. Like, I thought I would have a problem with it. Whenever I slept in bed with anyone else, like my ex-girlfriend or my friends that would sleep over, I could not sleep. I was like, it was way worse. I didn't want them in my territory. I wanted them to go away. Like, my sleeping area is my sleeping area. I don't like when people are in my sleeping area. But when my husband slept over that day, I actually knocked out. Like, I was like so surprised about it. It was also very strange because he started sleeping over every single night because I noticed that I wasn't having nightmares around him either. Like, that ended. I started having nightmares terribly after that. Not because of him, it's just, I think it's, the comfort is there and it's stronger when you first start doing something, and then after you get used to it, it's like, bitch, I got this. So I started having nightmares again. Again, I'm not bothered by nightmares. They don't keep me from sleeping. I love sleep. I wish I could sleep all day half the time. I don't even care if I have nightmares from sleeping. The bad thing about being schizophrenic and having nightmares is that there's a lot of times where I do wake up in the middle of the night from a nightmare and I will think that it's still really happening. I have had a dream where Jeffrey Dahmer's spirit was after me in my dream, and I would wake up literally thinking that his ghost was after me, and I would pull the cover over my head, and I would think that he was going to rip it off, and I would hide underneath, and I would literally cower there shaking, thinking that his ghost was after me. There was another one recently. We've been watching a lot of Asian horrors. Probably not helping my defense right here, by the way. We're watching this show called Thailand Terrors, and it's like an anthropology. I don't know if that's the term. Anthropology? It's something like that, where every single episode has a different story, and there's always like a moral behind it, but it's a horror series, so it's like horrifying that you better learn your morals. And Japanese, Asian, Chinese, Asian, obviously all of them, Philippines, Thailand, their spirits always creep me out tenfold compared to the spirits here in America. I woke up from having a nightmare. I actually had this twice, different nightmares. I woke up from having a nightmare of these Thailand spirits coming after me. I woke up thinking that there was going to be Thailand spirits in my room. And there was even one time where I thought, I swear to God, I saw one in my room. Welcome to hallucinations. And, girl. Anyway, I do wake up having delusions of my nightmares, and then they only go away after I'm knocked back out somehow. But after he started sleeping over every night, I knocked out like nothing. I would fall asleep like nothing. It's no problem. There would be days where I still didn't go to bed until after he would fall asleep way before me, and I would just be playing video games because I got so used to the routine that I knew I wasn't going to go to sleep anyway, so why even bother trying anymore. I'd play games all night, watch movies all night, watch TV all night, write RPs. I used to RPG a lot on the computer. I used to write a lot of fanfics. And I just distracted myself throughout the night, hoping that eventually I would just get so tired that when I go in bed, I'll just knock out. Never happened, but that's the way I just did things. I got work done. Might as well, because I'm just going to be laying there in bed anyways. So yes, after he started sleeping in bed with me, I noticed I was knocking out. And I believe the reason for that is, I believe that when you find your soulmate, everything kind of just settles. I'm not saying you're not going to fight with your soulmate occasionally, you're just going to have your little battles here and there. But there's a different level of comfort, security when you're with your soulmate, and you just feel safe. And that's what I think happened. I feel safe with him, and it just told my brain it's okay to shut off. Now, I do go to bed still thinking of book ideas, movie ideas, fanfic ideas, fantasizing about different things. Like, I write fanfics. I like to think of scenes for my fanfics while I'm laying in bed, because for some reason it just makes my brain like, okay, there's a lot of a lot of work to do. But yes, after I started sleeping in bed with my husband, I knocked out pretty quickly. When I don't sleep with him in bed with me. Like in the morning, like I mentioned, he goes to work at 7 o'clock and he gets off at 4. My antipsychotics still make me drowsy in the morning, so I'm very tired in the morning still. So I usually just go back to bed for another couple hours. But I notice it still takes me about an hour to 2 hours, even sometimes 3 hours, to knock back to sleep when he's not in bed. So I know he's my my cure. I can't sleep when he's not in the same bed as me. If you were to ever need to stay away from me for a couple of days, I guarantee it, I probably won't sleep for those couple of days. That is my cure. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen for everyone. I'm not telling you that if you're sleeping next to your boyfriend or your husband and you're not knocking out, that he's not your soulmate. I'm just saying that that's what happened to me. I tried talking to one of my friends recently. He said, well, yeah, it sounds like it's just a comfort thing, a security thing. You feel comfortable next to that person and you let that guard down completely. And that could be it. It could be as simple as that. Get a cuddle buddy, like one of your most favorite stuffed animals from your past, your favorite baby blanket, maybe you'll knock out faster. My husband has difficulty sleeping too. He used to have insomnia just as badly as me. He used to leave the TV on and fall asleep to the TV and the white noise of the TV. I can't do that. I usually have the TV on until he knocks out and then I turn the TV off, and I can't fall asleep until the TV is turned off. I can't sleep with the TV on. The lights just wake me up all the time. So yes, I know there's different insomnias. I'm not gonna look them up because I think I just suffered from regular insomnia up into my 19 and 20 year of age. Then I noticed that my insomnia changed a little bit. I noticed I was sleeping at night, but it was like I said, it was like 2 to 3 hours wake up, 2 to 4 hours wake up, and I would sleep a lot during the day instead. Or like knock out of my girlfriend's bed all the time, just out cold. She'd wake me up, dinner time, oh, eat and go back to sleep. It was just like, what? Why are you sleeping anyway? But then I would stay up a lot at night with the minimum of a couple hours of sleep. So my insomnia changed around that time period. I don't know why. I think it's because it was different levels of my life at the time. So what I would suggest for anyone who suffers from insomnia. I'm not a doctor, so don't take this and say, oh yeah, that works. As it mentioned, you may have to go to behavior therapy. It might be something that's traumatizing you in the back of your head that you don't know about. I don't know what it could have been for me. I have a lot of memories I don't have many memories of my past, my younger years, so it could be a traumatic thing that was blocked from my life for all I know. They say medications work. Go to your local psychiatrist. Go to your primary doctor. That's the one. I was like thinking it was like something else. And see if they have a solution for you. Like maybe you need to eat these type of foods before bed, or try this medication. A lot of people smoke. If it's legal in your area, a lot of people smoke weed to go to sleep. I know a couple people in the legal areas that smoke weed to literally knock out, and it just knocks them out because their body's like, okay, night. CBD, I've heard. Melatonin, I've heard. Zeke will help me for a time period. It doesn't really help me anymore. It knocks my husband out. So I think it really depends the person. My best advice is to go to a primary doctor and ask what they think, because they might give you something as easy as drink this amount of water before bed. I don't know. Drink this tea before bed. Some teas apparently knock you out from, I don't get it because it have caffeine in it, but don't drink soda before bed. I actually heard that one. Don't drink soda before bed. For some reason it keeps you up. Don't watch TV before bed. Like have an hour after. We just don't do it. Read books before bed. Apparently that's supposed to help. So I don't have a solution. My solution was my husband. Yay! And I hope this has helped some of you people, and I hope you guys enjoyed my story. Hopefully it's not too I was messing with this. Hopefully I wasn't loud distracting you from anything. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and I hope you guys have good dreams and have an ability of falling asleep easier than some people nowadays. So, bye!